All right. Good afternoon, DFW Women's Club, and all of our friends that have joined us today. My name's Ashley Wagner. I'm your president, and I'm super excited to have two amazing guests with us today. We have Tiffany McDonald and Aubrey with us here. We're going to be talking about home buying, all the ins and outs, all the 101 details that you need to know to purchase your home from start to finish, and some of those things that you didn't know you needed to know. So Tiffany's our realtor and broker's associate, and then Aubrey is our loan originator with us here today. So we're really excited to bring these lunch and learns. We're going to talk for about 25-30 minutes, and you'll be able to have some really great insight and connections and some real amazing, beautiful, lovely ladies here in the DFW area that you can reach out to for just real genuine, good, honest feedback and professional advice. So welcome, ladies. We're glad to have you. Go ahead,
Hello.
introduce
Hello.
yourself, tell us about you, and then let's hear all the amazing things you have to offer for this women's group.
Awesome. So I'm Tiffany McDonald. I am a realtor and a broker's associate. I've been working as a realtor for 8 years now, and a lot of those have worked with Aubrey. She's actually my preferred lender. So we work together as a team a lot to help people get into homes. We work a lot with first-time home buyers, so we're pretty versed in helping people with that.
Yes. And I'm Aubrey Miller. I am a loan officer with Cardinal Financial, and I've been doing this now for 12 years. So
Yeah.
8 of those with Tiffany.
And she's actually also one of the top in the state for down payment assistance programs too. So we'll touch base on that as well.
Beautiful. And if any of you women have joined our conferences, Tiffany is a huge sponsor for us. So we really do appreciate everything that you do to give back to our organization and to sponsor the women in the Metroplex. So not only is she a badass realtor behind the scenes, also a huge supporter of our community and helping women in the area. So
I love this group. So
let's dig in. Do y'all have something you wanted to share, correct?
Yes. Let me share the screen real quick.
gotta love Canva.
Yes. There we go.
Okay, so give it the time and everything, I guess. So you'll see kind of our information here. It's our beginning slide. I am with Focus on Homes Realty, currently brokered by South Estates Realty, and Aubrey is with Cardinal Financial, the Q&A mortgage team with them.
And let's get into it. Home Buyers Workshop.
So one of the things that we really say a lot in real estate is don't wait to buy real estate and wait. And that's a really fun quote because a lot of people don't realize that when you're actually purchasing a home and investing in real estate, you are in fact investing in real estate because your home can become a source of generational wealth, so to speak, and you can build equity and all of that. So we will be talking about some of the things that a lot of people genuinely fear with buying a home because it is the biggest purchase that most people buy. So it is a very big step. It does feel like drinking water from a fire hydrant a lot of times. So we're going to kind of discuss some of the fears that you may have and also a lot of the myths and misconceptions that are associated with buying a home, like down payment, how much you need, credit scores, and things like that. We're going to talk about the benefits. There are definitely financial perks. You're going to have some more flexibility as an owner, and it does provide a lot of stability. And then we're going to go over the path to home ownership and kind of some of the steps that are necessary for that. So, like, we're in this together. Aubrey and I are a good team. We've been doing this a lot together. So, like working with her because I can go, hey, what's going on with this? So I think you could just hit this.
Oh, perfect.
Maybe.
You are in fact wrong.
I am wrong. Trying to figure out, how'd you go to the guys, we're trying to figure out how to go to the next slide.
Sorry. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
And then
Click
there we
it.
go.
There we
All
go.
right.
Okay, we're here. Okay, so one of the most common fears for people when they're thinking about buying a home is that they cannot afford to buy the home right now. And one of the things that we really like to tell people is that you really don't know until you actually apply. And one of the things people are most afraid of with applying is, okay, well, now my information is going to be out there, or it's going to tank my credit score by applying. And they're just afraid of that. So really the first step to buying a home in general, whether you're ready now or you're thinking about buying in 18 months or a year from now or 6 months from now, is actually to apply. And I'm going to let Aubrey kind of elaborate a little bit on that one.
Yeah, so get a lot of people that are, oh, I don't know if I can afford it. I've got, debt, things like that. What a lot of people don't realize is, one, we're just looking at your minimum monthly payments. We're not looking at, if you have student loans, things like that, which we'll get more into. And then two, you can sometimes buy more than you think. Sometimes what you think your house payment will be isn't anywhere near what your house payment will be. So actually getting into it and seeing hard numbers gives you the information you need to know what your next steps are, where you feel comfortable being, what house price you can be at, and then we can go from there and set it up in a way that will make you feel comfortable.
And the thing that we really like people to focus on, don't focus on interest rates. Don't focus on that final number of, oh, the house I'm going to buy is 250 or 300 or 400,000. We want you to focus on your monthly payments, because that's what you live by, is your monthly payments. And a lot of times, another thing that people really kind of think about is, oh, well, my credit score isn't good enough.
Yeah.
And Aubrey, how low can you go for a credit score?
So we can actually go down to a 520 credit score. There's some more things that you have to do to get that low. But I always tell people the sweet spot's kind of that 580 range. It just opens you up a little bit more. But there are some options out there if your credit's a little bit lower. But then also let us take a look at it, because we might be able to work on it and get you in down the line if that doesn't work at this very moment.
Well, and one of my favorite things for that is your credit score that Aubrey's going to see is not what you're going to see on Credit Karma or even your FICO score through your bank or your credit card, where they give you that. It's a little bit different with the way that it works for mortgages, and that's her job, not mine. So I'm not going to explain that. But it is different. And a lot of times it's usually a little bit higher.
It can vary.
It can vary. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me, listen to her. But something that's also good with that is Aubrey has a system. When we were talking about you applying a year, 18 months in advance before you actually think that you're ready, it's because some people think, oh, I need to pay off all of my debt before I buy a house. Well, that's not necessarily true. Sometimes Aubrey can look at it and go, okay, pay this card down to $732.05. I mean, that precise, and it will actually help boost your score. Haven't you been able to get people up like?
Yeah, so it just depends how everything looks, but there's something called Credit Expert that we can run, and it lets us see what to pay down, what's the most bang for your buck, and then kind of the time frame it'll take for the score to get up to where we need it to be. So I always tell people, let me look at it first. Don't throw money around when we don't know where to put it.
Yeah.
And let me take a look and see what's going to work the best for you.
She'll help you definitely allocate it to the best place to get your credit to where it needs to be in your time frame, and sometimes sooner.
Yes.
So and the next one is, I don't have to save I don't have 20% saved for a down payment. This one is still one of the biggest things that I see that people think, is that you have to have 20% down. And the truth is that you do not. Now, there are different loan programs out there. If you're a veteran, you don't need anything if you qualify for the VA. And then there's FHA loans, which are really strong government loans. And then we have a conventional. And a lot of people think, oh, conventional, I need 20%, but that's just not true. Aubrey, how much do you need?
So we can get, for first-time homebuyers, 3% down, and FHA, you can do
That's
3.5%
Yeah.
down. But then we also do have the down payment assistance program, so there might be more options out there for you. So again, it's one of those things, come talk to us and we'll guide you guys in the right direction on what home loan will be the best for you, what product and what we can do for you as far as the down payment goes.
And we'll also kind of walk you through closing costs as well. Because while you don't need 20% for the down payment, there are closing costs that are on top of your down payment. So one of the best things that also is attributed to going ahead and filling out that application is you can get an estimate for what your monthly payment will be if you're at a certain price point in a certain area, and you can get an estimate for what you'll owe at closing, including your down payment and your closing costs, with any down payment assistance that you may have. So it will really help you set those goals a little bit better. Okay, this is a good one. Should I pay off my student debt loan before buying a home? Y'all, I still owe student loan debt, and I own a house. So that's a quick answer to that, but I'll let Aubrey
Yes.
elaborate a little bit
Yeah.
more.
So student loans don't affect you as much as people think. A lot of times it's either a 0.5% or 1% of the payment, or if you have a payment already set up with that home loan, we can typically use that.
And
So
what she's talking about with that is the payment you're making each month. That is what they're counting towards your debt to income.
your income-based repayment plan. So no, don't go paying off student loan debt. Again, get with me before you do anything and you start throwing money around. Let me take a look at it because I'm going to guide you in, again, where the best place is to put your money. And student loans aren't going to immediately kill you from being able to get a home loan. So
I'm just convinced I'm going to the grave with them. So, should I wait until the market gets better? So one of the things that we like to say in real estate is the best time to buy real estate is today, and the best time to buy real estate is yesterday, and the second best time to buy real estate is today. And that's because the market is always changing, but for the most part, it's always continuing to evolve and grow up over time. You're always going to be paying a monthly amount somewhere, whether it's renting, whether it's owning. So this is actually putting that money towards an investment. And something that is floating around on social media is that a lot of people are really worried about interest rates. And guys, when it was in 2s and 3s back in 2020 and 2021, let me tell you, Aubrey and I, your girls were tired. Okay. We were running around ragged. We were having buyers that were putting in
hundreds.
Yeah, I know one that I wrote 20 offers for before they finally got a house. So it was exhausting. You were actually paying your equity ahead because people were paying above appraised values. So I would much rather pay a little bit more per month for a higher interest rate to know I'm getting in the house that I want. I'm not stuck there forever because I'm waiting to actually get back up to a point where my equity is there to be able to sell it. And I just have that peace of mind that, oh, if rates go back down, I'll refinance. But if they go up, then I'm in a better position because I got mine whenever it was in the 6s and 7s. And a thing that is floating around right now is the last time rates were around the 6s and 7s, it was like, I think 1977. And if people waited for them to go back down, it did not go back down until 1993. So that's 22 years that people would have waited to purchase a home. And in the meantime, home values quadrupled in that 22 years. So take that into consideration and just remember, stop worrying about interest rates. We pay interest rates for everything, our cars, our credit cards, everything. So it's a way of life, and you can always refinance if they go down.
And I like to think of it too, it's this or that market. So the market we had, rates were low, that was the benefit. The negative side of that was paying over appraised value, a really competitive market. This market, it's more even for our seller and our buyers. Buyers can get things like closing cost help. So if you're worried about your cash to close, it's a market where you can actually get the seller to cover some of those. And you can, like Tiffany said, you're not feeling forced into a house just to get under contract. You can find the house you want.
On top of that, during the negotiations, once you're doing the inspection, you can actually get the seller to do some repairs.
Yes.
And that time it was, okay, this is what the house is. Do you want it or not? Yeah. Because we weren't really able to get a lot done.
There's always pros and cons to every market. But I always think a pro is investing in real estate is always a good thing to do.
Absolutely. So. Oh, well, the last one is, will hiring a real estate agent save me time? And the answer is an astounding yes. You can't get into every home without a realtor. And when you have a realtor, we could set you up on a search portal based on your criteria and your budget, and be able to not only help you get in to see those homes, but help you write a strong offer and support you throughout the whole transaction. And I think Aubrey's probably worked with buyers that have worked with realtors and without them.
Let me tell you, having a realtor is worth it because I've worked with people that have bought for sale by owner. Nobody has a realtor, trying to get negotiations done. making sure everybody is on the same page as far as the contract goes. I, as a loan officer, cannot negotiate for you. I have
And you
nothing I
can't
can
really explain
say.
the contract
And I
either.
cannot explain the contract to you. I am legally not allowed to. And so it is definitely worth its weight in gold to have a realtor because they're going to fight for your best interest. And if anything, any hiccups come up along the way, they're going to work to get those fixed, as far as maybe the appraisal comes back with some repairs needed, things like that. If you don't have anyone in your corner, it's not as smooth and easy of a transaction.
Makes her job easier too.
Yes, and it makes me happy. So
Okay, so here are some benefits actually to owning your own home. And neither one of us are really going to get into a lot of tax benefits because we are not tax professionals, but we can tell you some of the things that we do know. We know that you can actually deduct the interest that you pay on your mortgage and your property taxes and some of the costs that are involved with buying a home. Now, you'll of course want to talk to a CPA about this, but there definitely are tax benefits to owning a home. And I want to say no, I'm not going to get into that. That's a CPA question, and I'm not going to do that. Okay, so number 2 is appreciation. So during the crazy time that we saw in 2020 and 2021, we were seeing appreciation year over year of about 16 to 17%, which is actually not a stable thing. We did not want that because it was actually pricing people out of homes. So we've actually kind of gotten back to a level, easier market as far as traditionally we want to see 3 to 5% year over year. And that's a pretty steady growth. In the last 2 years, let's see, I think I put some of these things here. Home values have appreciated nearly 53.2% over the last 5 years in Fort Worth. And home values have gone up 15.75% over the last 2 years in Fort Worth, and in Dallas, they've gone up 13.18%. So it's a very stable market in DFW. We have a very diversified economy here. People are still moving here. We've seen a population growth of about 1 to 2% per year in both Dallas, Fort Worth, and the surrounding areas. So we are actually in a great market here. A lot of times when you see stuff on national news, you're seeing things on the East Coast and the West Coast. So even when the 2008 quote unquote crash happened, think of it as parentheses. So it started on the outside of the country and it worked its way in. We did not feel that effect as badly as the West Coast. And you want to touch on equity? And then we did not feel it until about 2010, 2011. So it was much lessened by the time we felt it, and it was years later. So we have a good market here.
Yeah. So, and then you're going to gain equity in your home. So if you're paying money in rent, we always like to say you're paying 100% interest. That money, once it's paid, you're never seeing it again. It's gone. Money put into your house, you're building up the equity in your home. So not only are you paying on that principal balance on your loan, but your house is also appreciating in value. So I have a lot of people that get in first-time home buyers. They use the down payment assistance, and 5 years they sell and they use the equity in that home to buy now their dream home. So sometimes a home can be a stepping stone to what you're wanting ultimately. Sometimes you might buy your forever home going into it.
Oftentimes it's the different.
Oftentimes, I've said 3 times now I have my forever home, and here I am. So
I usually tell people that your first home is not your dream home. It's a stepping stone to your dream home.
Correct.
And that is part of that building generational wealth. I wish I bought when I was 22.
Same.
Okay, so here are some more benefits. So in the equity, you actually can building equity in your home is a ready-made savings plan.
Yes.
So you can borrow against your equity if you ever need to. But it also helps whenever you are selling. If you do take that money after you've owned a home for 2 years and you say, I don't want to put that equity into another home, I just want to take it. That is tax-free, guys. That is
as long as it's a primary home.
Yeah, as long as it's your primary home, you will not have to pay capital gains taxes on it if you've been in it for 2 years. So benefit there.
freedom. So if the home is yours, you can decorate it any way you want.
You can have dogs.
Yeah, you can have any pets you want, and you can do the upgrades that you want. I know a lot of people who have rented, done stuff to the home, gotten permission from the landlord, because you got to do that first. Well, that's great, except
You gotta
now
send it
you've
back.
only helped your landlord make some money off their house.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it to your own house, you're helping the value. If you update the kitchen, bathrooms, etc. If you do that in your rental home, you're not seeing that money back.
No, you're not, but your landlord loves you.
Yeah, but your landlord likes you a little bit more.
You also are going to have a little bit more stability. So if you remain in one neighborhood for several years, it's going to allow your family time to build the relationships with your community. You're going to know your neighbors, and it's just going to kind of give them that sense of
Community.
yeah. So
right.
now the fun part, guys. I know that these slides have a lot of writing on them, and we're trying not to read them verbatim for you, but really your path to home ownership, this is going to be the most condensed version for you. So you're going to want to find a realtor, and
Tiffany,
you know, hi, just in case you didn't know, I can help you. And I would probably get you connected with Aubrey here because we've worked so well together. And the next step is going to be getting pre-approved.
and that's super important, guys, because if you're out there looking at homes and you haven't gotten pre-approved yet, you don't know if the homes you're looking at you can buy. You don't know if the payment's where you want it to be. You don't have any of that information that you need to make a good choice for you and your family. So you want to make sure that you do get that pre-approval process started, because you want to make sure that you're looking in the right area, the right budget, and you have all of the information at your fingertips going into the process when you go to look at homes.
Yes, for sure. And getting the estimate up front is so important because you don't want to get under contract and then you get the estimate, which I've had happen sometimes with lenders.
Yes,
and then
not
like,
every lender is
I
created
can't afford
equal.
this monthly payment, and you're under contract. So now you've got to get out of contract, and you've lost some money, you've lost some time. Saves us all time. So
yes, and not every lender is created equal. So, you know, I've had many people come to me because they didn't realize what their cash to close was going to be or their payment. I've had to figure out ways to help them, because the other lender didn't give them that information up front. That is so vital to making a good decision.
yes, very important. We all want to know what we're spending.
Yes.
So next step is step 3. That's the fun one. You get to go tour homes and you find the house that you want and you love it. And we kind of sit down beforehand to discuss your needs and your wants and, you know, what you can live without and what you can't live without. And then we kind of find the home. And once you find that home, that's when we make the offer and we negotiate. And then we get under contract and we do our inspection and we kind of negotiate some more there if there's anything that we want to get repaired. And then you have your home appraisal done. Now, your inspection and your home appraisal are 2 different things, okay? So your inspection is something that you have a third-party inspector come out and do. And that's somebody that comes in and like just does a look at the house. They're going to check all of the major things. They're going to look at your roof, your foundation, your plumbing, your electrical, your HVAC. And those are our big 5 key items that we really want to look at. But they're going to kind of tell you, hey, this needs to be serviced. This needs to be replaced. This, that, and the other. Now, some things we will request the seller to do, and they may do or they may not. Some things will be lender required repairs, and we'll be able to get them done. And then some things it's just knowing what you need to do for maintenance. The appraisal is more for Aubrey.
That's going to tell you that that home, if you're buying, if it's $300,000, is worth $300,000, or maybe it's worth a little bit more. But that's going to allow us to know that that value in your home is there.
Yes. And then we do the title search, and that is for the title company, and they're just making sure that no one has a claim to the house. And that when you get the house, no one can come back and say, hey, my great grandfather owned that house. I have a right to it. So that's kind of what that is due diligence to make sure that it is clean and you can own it. Then after that's done, we close.
Yeah.
And that's the fun pictures you see where we're like, yeah, because we have to go through all of this to get there, y'all.
Then you can start moving in.
Oh, I think you went
backwards. That's weird.
Whoop.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so here are a few reasons to choose me as your realtor. Now it's time for me to make my little pitch. So I do believe in full transparency. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If we are in a house and I see things that I know an inspector is going to point out, I'm going to point them out to you because I don't want those to be surprises. I'm going to let you know if, what the best offer I think would be. How long it's been on the market plays a role. If it has any other offers plays a role. So we'll go through that. I also really have the ability to assess your wants and needs. And it's really kind of the tough conversations I will have with you. And I will say, okay, this house checks all these boxes, but it doesn't check these. But the house that did check it was XYZ more. So it's really kind of playing that. But all of these things, I really try to be as trustworthy as I can. And I work with a lot of great professionals like Aubrey and some inspectors that I can connect you with that will help. I'm always going to negotiate on your behalf. And I really do pride myself in being available to troubleshoot problems as they arise. And that means it could be 8 o'clock at night. It could be a Sunday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I really am, we're here 24/7, honestly. If I'm sleeping, I'll get back to you when I wake up. So.
Tiffany does a great job, and she definitely advocates for her buyers and her sellers and make sure everything goes smoothly on the transaction.
Thank
you. You're welcome.
So this is kind of some of our information. I didn't want to put too much in here to make it too complicated for you guys. Honestly, the best way to get a hold of Aubrey or I is to text us, and then we can set up a time to call you. And I realized that, okay, I was looking at it wrong. Your last four numbers are so close to my last four numbers. Okay, so my phone number is on top, and it is 817-223-5982. You can give me a call or you can text me, and I can answer any questions that you have. And
same for me. Call or text me 817-793-8288. We are here to help and answer, even if it's just a mortgage related question. Just reach out. We're here to help.
Yeah. So I think that with that, we are wrapping it up. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I don't know if you want to escape out of this thingy.
Yes.
Guys, we're so tech savvy. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Ashley's laughing at us.
Much. No, I'm laughing because like if I'm on the call, then it's like technology just goes crazy. Like I always I don't know, I could be touching nothing and break it. So
you're just looking at it and it goes blip.
Yeah, that's the story of my life. So I'm just laughing because it's the story of my life. But I will say thank you guys so much for sharing that because it's so much good information. And when you said don't wait to buy real estate and wait, that really hit home for me. And I think so many people have all of these challenges in their mind that they're putting up all these roadblocks like I'm not ready, it's never going to happen, or maybe I have a home and I'm not ready to change homes. But if you don't ask and you don't reach out, and then you'll never know.
Yeah.
And I love having you here as an advocate so that we can direct all of the amazing women we have as a part of our organization to you, because like you said, you are very trustworthy. You're a really down to earth person, and you need that in a realtor. Like you really need somebody that's not just there to sell you a house or just to push you through on the process, because it is one of the biggest purchases that you're going to make in your entire life. And it can be really intimidating. And so to have somebody that you can trust and call and be like, girl, shoot it straight. Is it bad? Yeah. And it's really nice that you have such a great relationship with Aubrey, because knowing the numbers are going to be really important, right? Like you can a home that you love, but if you don't have somebody that really can break it down for you and make it manageable and give you all the options that you need, then what are we really doing, right? You're kind of flying blind. So I really hope that everyone enjoys this and reaches out to you. If nothing else, I see all the beautiful homes that you're sharing and touring all over the Metroplex. So I know you're all over the place.
Yes, I am actually helping somebody buy a house right now in Sherman. So that one's been a drive for me. It's about an hour and a half one way. So don't feel like it's too far. And if it gets to a point where it is too far, then I have some great connections with some realtors that are elsewhere. And even in Waco and things like that, I can refer you to people pretty much all over the state to help if you're a little bit further. So I'll connect you with the good people.
Yeah. Well, you are good people, both of you, and we
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you. And like I said, we appreciate how much you've given into DFW Women's Club alone. And you're always showing up and supporting and helping us set up and do all kinds of crazy things.
I
So
love
yeah,
DFW Women's Club.
yeah, I know if somebody trusts you with their home, like you're going to put just as much, if not more effort into that I've seen you give to this organization. So
Thank
I
you.
really hope everyone reaches out to you if they have any questions. And I just thank you guys for your time today. It was
Yeah,
so
thank
much good
you.
information and everything was just hitting home for me. I wish I would have known you when I, a few years ago, bought my home, because everything you're saying, I'm like, yup, exactly. I needed that. I wish I would have known that, or all of these things. And so it's nice to have somebody you can trust behind the scenes doing that.
Thank
So
you.
thank
And
you
thank
so
you for this
much for your time.
opportunity because it is so good and it's so hard to get the information out to everybody because it's a lot. And so I hope that this helps people and answers some questions and gets them thinking about it. So if you guys have any questions, we're here.
Beautiful. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon.
All right,
Thank
bye. Thank
you.
you.